Hello, you lovely people. Apparently, Hoyoverse has changed the encryption method in 5.5 beta, but it would not stop me from providing every detail to you guys. So in this video, I will share the full kit and constellations of Varesa along with her damage multipliers. So without any poopbar.gg, let's get right into the video. Varesa's normal attack launches up to 3 strikes, dealing electro damage. And her charged attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to headbutt opponents in front, dealing Night Soul-aligned electro damage and using the momentum to leap into the air. During her plunge attack, she plunges from midair to strike the ground below, damaging opponents along the path and dealing with Night Soul-aligned AoE electro damage upon impact. If Varesa is in a combat state upon landing, or if the shockwave from her plunging attack hits an opponent, she gains 25 Night Soul points, and she enters the Fiery Passion state upon reaching maximum Night Soul points through this method. Now, if you are wondering what Fiery Passion state is, in this state, Varesa's normal, charged, and plunging attacks gain buffs, such as greater electro damage using her normal attack, greater amounts of Night Soul-aligned electro damage, and using the momentum to leap into the air. While she is in the air, she consumes all her Night Soul points and slams down on the ground from midair, dealing damage to opponents in her path and dealing greater amounts of Night Soul-aligned AoE electro damage upon hitting the ground. At level 9, her normal attack scales something like this. Her first attack hits with 79.5% damage. Her second attack deals 68% damage. Her third attack deals 95.7% damage. And her charged attack hits with 189.7% damage, consuming 50 stamina. Her plunge attack deals 137% damage, while low plunges deal 274% and high plunges deals 342% damage. During her Fiery Passion state, first hit of her normal attack deals 92.5% damage. Second hit deals 88.4% damage. And the third hit deals 125.1% damage. While she is in Fiery Passion state, her charged attack hits with 196.8% damage, consuming 50 stamina. And her plunge attack deals 137% damage, while low plunges deal 411% damage, and high ones deal 513% damage. Now let's talk about her elemental skill. Upon using her E skill, Varesa rushes forward and deals Night Soul-aligned electro damage to enemies in her path. During this time, she also gains 20 Night Soul points and the follow-up strike effect, which increases her interruption resistance and allows her to perform a charged attack without stamina consumption. And the follow-up strike will end after you use a charged attack. Varesa's E skill also has 2 modes. If you tap it, she will quickly rush a certain distance forward. If you hold it, Varesa will enter the Night Soul's blessing state and switch to sudden onrush mode. During this sudden onrush mode, she will continuously consume Night Soul points. In this state, Varesa's movement speed and interruption resistance will increase. And she can use terrain to execute flying leaps or consume additional Night Soul points to traverse a top water or liquid phlogiston while remaining immune to damage from the latter. During her Night Soul's blessing state, she gets 2 charges. And when Varesa enters the Fiery Passion state, her elemental skill cooldown will be reset, and its damage will be increased. Now here's some more details about her Fiery Passion state. While not in the Fiery Passion state, she can use plunging attacks to gain Night Soul points. She will enter Fiery Passion when she reaches maximum Night Soul points using this method, or when she uses her elemental burst, a Dazzling Descent. Varesa will also enter the Night Soul's blessing state when entering Fiery Passion. While affected by Fiery Passion, Varesa will always be in her Night Soul's blessing state. While in this state, her normal attacks, elemental skill, and elemental burst will gain unique buffs. She can also use a special elemental burst shortly after using a plunging attack. Her elemental skills at level 9 scale, something like this. Her rush attack deals 151.4% damage. The Fiery Passion rush attack deals 216.2% damage. The follow-up strike lasts for 5 seconds. And she has a Night Soul point limit of 40, with a cooldown of 9 seconds. Now, let's take a look at her elemental burst. During her elemental burst, she leaps into the air before using the momentum of the drop to unleash a powerful flying kick, dealing Night Soul-aligned AoE electro damage to opponents. After using this skill, her Night Soul points will be restored to maximum, and she will enter the Fiery Passion state. In the Fiery Passion state, Varesa's elemental burst will deal more Night Soul-aligned AoE electro damage. Additionally, she will briefly activate Apex Drive after using a plunging attack while in her Fiery Passion state. This Apex Drive will increase her interruption resistance. And while affected by Apex Drive, she can ignore her elemental burst cooldown and consume less energy to use her special elemental burst called Dazzling Descent Volcanic Collapse. This causes her to use the especially powerful plunging attack to hit opponents in the path of her plunge and deal Night Soul-aligned AoE electro damage upon landing. But keep in mind this damage is considered a plunging attack damage. Her elemental burst at level 9 scales something like this. At level 9, her flying kick deals 586.7% damage. And her Fiery Passion flying kick deals 977.8% damage, with a cooldown of 18 seconds, at the cost of 70 energy. And her special elemental burst volcanic collapse deals 684.5% damage, with an energy cost of 30. Now, as for her passive skills. Her first passive skill is called Tag Team Triple Jump. With her first passive skill, after using the elemental skill Riding the Night Rainbow, she gains Rainbow Crash for 5 seconds. During this time, when Varesa uses a plunging attack, the shockwave damage dealt when she hits the ground is increased by 25%. If Varesa is in the Fiery Passion state, this ground impact damage is increased by 50% instead. The Rainbow Crash effect will be cancelled once a ground impact hits an opponent, or when its duration expires. Her second passive skill is called the Hero Twice Returned. With her second passive skill, when a nearby party member triggers a Night Soul burst, Varesa's attack increases by 30% for 12 seconds. You can get a maximum of 2 stacks in this way, with each stack's duration counted independently. Her third passive skill is called Night Realm's Gift, a torch that incinerates evil. With her third passive skill, after Night Soul points have been fully depleted, Varesa will switch to using Phlogiston to maintain the sudden onrush mode from her Night Soul's blessing. While in an area with Phlogiston mechanics within Natlan, Night Soul Transmission, Varesa can be used. And when the current active character is sprinting or in movement modes caused by certain talents, or at a certain height in the air, if you switch to Varesa, she enters the Night Soul's blessing state, switches to sudden onrush mode, and obtains 20 Night Soul points. In this way, Night Soul Transmission can be triggered once every 10s by your own party. Her fourth passive skill is called Blazing Heart, Singular Advance. With her fourth passive skill, Varesa's sprint speed gets increased. And when not in combat, her sprint stamina consumption will also increase. Additionally, while in an area with Phlogiston mechanics within Natlan, your party members will restore 20 Phlogiston when consuming food. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds and does not take effect in domains, trounce domains, or the Spiral Abyss. Now, let's take a look at her constellations. Her C1 enhances the effects of the passive talent, the Tag Team Triple Jump. And while Rainbow Crash is active, Varesa's plunging attack ground impact deals 50% increased damage, regardless of whether she is in the Fiery Passion state or not. However, this bonus is only available after unlocking the passive talent. Additionally, when Varesa enters or exits the Fiery Passion state, her attack increases by 35% for 5 seconds. In sudden onrush mode, her Night Soul points or Phlogiston consumption is reduced by 30%. Her C2 allows Varesa to enter Apex Drive immediately after using a plunging attack, regardless of her state. During Apex Drive, her interruption resistance is further increased. And when her plunging attack ground impact hits an opponent, she restores 11.5 energy. Her C3 and C5 increase the maximum upgrade level of her elemental burst and normal attack to level 15. With her C4 when she uses her elemental burst, depending on her current state. If neither Fiery Passion nor Apex Drive is active, she gains Diligent Refinement for 15 seconds, boosting her plunging attack ground impact damage by 500% of her attack, with a maximum bonus of 20,000 damage. This effect ends after hitting an opponent or when its duration expires. If she has either Fiery Passion or Apex Drive active, her Elemental Burst deals 100% increased damage. And lastly, her C6 restores 30 energy when Varesa enters Apex Drive. Her plunging attacks and Elemental Burst gain an additional 10% crit rate and 100% crit damage. When using the hold version of her elemental skill or tapping the skill in sudden onrush mode, Varesa restores Night Soul points up to their maximum limit. And that's it. That's every detail you need to know about Varesa's kit. Like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next video on Ianson's full kit and her constellations.